Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into the absolutely incredible, just the dizzying speed of artificial intelligence's evolution. Our mission for this deep dive, we're going to try and sprint through like 70 years of AI history, unpack the big milestones, maybe some surprising facts. It's all about giving you that shortcut to really getting it.
Yeah, and our main source is this great little 60-second origin story, like a whirlwind tour. We're going to slow that whirlwind down, though, just enough to really dig into the details. So right at the start, the big question I have is just how much has AI changed and how fast? Because the analogy used is AI going from toddler to teenager. And you'll see it happened unbelievably quickly. Let's unpack that. It really did. And, that starting point, the actual birth, it tells you so much about the speed later on. The very beginning, it takes us back to 1956. 1956. Okay, that's the classic date, right? 10 guys. Dartmouth. They coined the term artificial intelligence there, sure. But what was the real breakthrough conceptually? What were they actually trying to do?
Well, it wasn't just the name, though, that was important. It was really about bringing together the key thinkers of that era. You had Minsky, McCarthy, Shannon, giants, and they formally proposed this new field. The core idea was, essentially, that intelligence learning, problem solving, you name it, could be described so precisely that you could build a machine to simulate it.
Huh.
It was the blueprint, the ambition, even before a lot of the tech really existed.
Got it. So laying the groundwork, the big vision. But how fast did that turn into something interactive, something people could actually, engage with?
Surprisingly quickly, actually. Just 10 years later, 1966. That's when we get ELIZA, often called the first digital shrink.
ELIZA, right. I've heard of that. What made it such a big deal back then? A digital shrink.
Well, it was groundbreaking because it was one of the very first times people experienced human-computer interaction that felt conversational. It mimicked a specific type of therapist, a Rogerian one.
Rogerian.
Yeah.
How did that work?
It's a style that mainly involves reflecting the patient's own words back, often as questions. Eliza used this really simple pattern matching trick, rephrasing what you typed in.
Yeah.
And sometimes that was enough. People felt like they were being understood, even though the program had zero actual understanding.
Wow. So just the illusion was powerful.
Exactly. It showed the potential, even with basic language processing, for machines to seem like they could hold a conversation.
Okay, so we have the concept, then this first taste of interaction, even if it was a trick. But you mentioned the speed wasn't always forward, right? The journey wasn't smooth. The 1980s hit a bump. The boom and bust of expert systems, what were those?
Right. Expert systems were a huge focus then. The idea was to capture the knowledge of a human expert, like a doctor diagnosing diseases or a geologist identifying minerals, and put it into a computer using lots and lots of if-then rules.
Okay, like coding expertise directly.
Exactly. And there was a boom. Huge promises about automating really complex jobs. But then came the bust.
Why? What went wrong?
They turned out to be incredibly difficult to build. For one. And even harder to update or expand. They were very brittle. If you gave them a situation that didn't perfectly fit the rules, they struggle.
Right. The real world is messy. Not all neat if-then scenarios.
Precisely. It showed how hard it was to move from these narrow, contained problem to something more flexible, more like general intelligence. A real bottleneck.
Okay, so bit of an AI winter there, or at least a cooling off. But then things bounce back. Big time. Which brings us to 1997, Deep Blue, Garry Kasparov, chess. Everyone knows IBM's Computer 1, but there's this fascinating detail that Deep Blue somehow learned trash talk. What's that about? It sounds almost human.
Yeah, that's a great anecdote, though maybe a bit of an exaggeration of intent. But it points to something important about how we perceive AI intelligence. Deep Blue's win was obviously monumental, a machine beating the world chess champion. Unthinkable just years before. It showed mastery of incredibly complex strategy. But the trash talk idea, it refers to Deep Blue making moves that were so unexpected, so uncomputer-like, that Kasparov apparently felt psychologically unnerved, like the machine was deliberately messing with him.
Ah, okay, so not literal trash talk, but moves that felt psychologically manipulative.
Exactly. It wasn't just finding the optimal move mathematically. It suggested AI could influence human opponents, disrupt them. A subtle hint of something beyond pure calculation.
Interesting. So AI conquers logic, strategy, chess. But as the saying goes, Deep Blue couldn't tell a cat from a dog. The next big leap had to be about perception, right? About seeing the world. So let's jump to 2012, AlexNet, and the claim it could spot cats better than your aunt. What was the significance there?
This was absolutely pivotal for deep learning. Before AlexNet, computer vision, getting computers to reliably identify objects in images was incredibly hard. Progress was slow. AlexNet used a type of neural network called a convolutional neural network.
Convolution, like layers of processing.
Kind of. Think of it like teaching the computer to scan an image and pick out features, edges, shapes, textures like fur patterns or ear shapes, piece by piece, layer by layer. This approach just unlocked amazing accuracy.
And the cat thing. Why cats?
It's just a relatable example. It showed the system could recognize complex patterns in visual data with accuracy that started rivaling or even exceeding humans for specific tasks. That success really kicked off the modern deep learning revolution we're still in. Computer vision, self-driving cars, medical imaging, it all exploded from there.
Okay, so that's vision sorted, or at least massively improved.
Yeah.
Which brings us almost to the present day, 2022. And the description is, ChatGPT joins your group chat.
Ha!
That feels very current. How did that mark a shift?
It really marked the moment sophisticated AI became truly mainstream, truly democratized. Before ChatGPT and similar large language models, powerful AI was often specialized or needed experts to use it. ChatGPT could generate human-like text on almost anything. You could just talk to it. The joins your group chat phrase captures it perfectly. Suddenly, this advanced AI was accessible to anyone, blurring the lines between human and machine communication in everyday contexts.
Yeah, you can ask it for recipes, code, poems,
However,
casual conversation, brainstorming, writing assistance. It moved AI out of the lab and into your phone, your browser.
Yeah.
It became pervasive almost overnight.
So let's zoom out. 1956 to 2022. From 10 guys defining a field to AI in everyone's pocket. The source sums it up. AI went from toddler to teenager faster than TikTok trends. That's speed. What's the big takeaway for us right now?
The sheer acceleration, I think. This isn't like the steam engine unfolding over generations. The most sophisticated, impactful AI has exploded into common use in just the last few years.
Yeah.
And that means society, our laws, our ethics, our understanding is struggling to keep up. The tech is moving faster than we can really process its implications. It's creating huge opportunities, yes, but also really significant challenges we need to face fast. Which leads directly to that final kicker in the source's moral. So your voice still shapes the rules. Why is that so crucial for you, the listener, to grasp?
Because it's not a done deal. The rules of the road for AI are still being written right now. How we use it, what we allow, what we demand in terms of safety, fairness, transparency, it's all up for grabs. Your understanding, your engagement, whether you're raising concerns or pushing for certain applications, it matters. If you care about the future of jobs or information or just how society functions, your voice is actually vital in shaping how this incredibly powerful technology evolves. It's about being an active participant, not just a bystander.
It really is stunning. You look back at that journey, Dartmouth, Eliza, Deep Blue, AlexNet seeing cats, ChatGPT, from a niche academic idea to something woven into daily life seemingly overnight, the speed is just undeniable.
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a really critical thought, doesn't it? Given this lightning-fast rise from theory to everyday tool, what's our responsibility now as users, as citizens? Is it enough to just watch it happen, or do we have a duty to actively join the conversation about its future? And maybe more importantly, how do we make sure our collective voice actually gets heard and shapes what comes next?
A very powerful question to leave you with. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into AI's incredibly fast origin story. We'll catch you next time.